we will cover some small toxicity topics, which is chapter 191, NSAID poisoning. So NSAID mechanism of action is cyclooxygenase enzyme inhibition. All NSAIDs act via this enzyme, inhibiting different prostaglandins and thromboxanes. They are broadly divided into selective and non-selective. Mostly what we use are non-selective. The selective ones are coxib. We have to choose between cardioprotective and GI protective. The non-selective ones are cardioprotective and the selective ones are GI protective. The side effects are your MI, GI bleed and renal failure. The toxic drugs are indomethacin, piroxicam and diclofenac are more toxic. Ibuprofen are generally safe. What are the NSAID toxicity at therapeutic doses? In CNS, it causes behavioral changes, cognitive difficulties, headache, psychosis, meningitis, seizure, etc. CVS, again MI. Pulmonary bronchospasm, edema, hypersensitivity. GI dyspepsia, ulceration, bleed, heartburn, perforation. Hepatic causes transaminitis, hepatic injury and may lead to fulminant hepatic failure, like in paracetamol case. Renal, it causes reduced prostaglandins, causing vasoconstriction, thus causing reduced blood supply to kidney. Then RAS will get activated, increase aldosterone, which cause sodium and water retention. It will also cause hyperkalemia, inflammatory renal injury like ATN, interstitial nephritis, thus causing hyperkalemia and azotemia. Hematological, increased risk of bleeding, bone marrow suppression and cell lineage suppression like red cell aplasia, agranulocytosis, hemolysis, thrombocytopenia, aplastic anemia, all that. Dermatologic, it can cause toxic epidermal necrolysis like Steven Johnson's and it can cause maculopapular rash, photosensitivity. Bone, it can cause delayed bone healing and reduce bone mineral density. Reproductive, it will reduce the contractions of the uterus, thus poor emptying of uterus during menses, slowed uterine contraction, premature closure of ductus arteriosus, fetal ICH and fetal enterocolitis oligoamnios. So remember PPP. PPPP means prostaglandin prevent premature closure of patent ductus arteriosus, or you can also say prostaglandins protects patent ductus arteriosus. It keeps it patent. What are the functions of different prostaglandins? So thromboxane A2 has thrombotic activity. PGI2 for gastric mucosa resistant to thromboembolism. PGE2 for inflammation and tumor growth. PGD2 is anti-inflammatory and PGF2 alpha is loss of parturition. What is parturition? So PGF2 alpha fetus को बाहर नहीं आने देता, बाहर आने में मदद करता है. अगर इनहिबिट कर दे तो लॉस ऑफ पार्चुरेशन हो जाएगा. Mefenamic acid can lead to seizure. If you suspect a NSAID overdose, what will you do? First, you will see all the any toxicity signs. If the patient is symptomatic, like altered mental status, seizure, abnormal vitals, treat the vitals, treat the symptoms, because definitive cure we don't have. So airway, fluid, bolus, vasopressor, seizure के लिए benzodiazepine. If not, then we will take the history, what was the NSAID, how much it was ingested, when it was ingested. If it was ingested within 1 hour, we will give charcoal. Then general monitoring, electrolytes, ECG, paracetamol and aspirin levels. Observe for 4 hours. If he becomes symptomatic, then admit and do symptomatic management. If no symptoms, you can discharge and offer psychiatric consult. Next is methylxanthine and nicotine. Methylxanthines include caffeine, theophylline, theobromine and nicotine. What क्या क्या आता है? Caffeine, theophylline, theobromine and nicotine. Caffeine फॉर्मूला याद रख लो, 137 ट्राईमिथाइल xanthine. क्या कॉफ़ी का फॉर्मूला है? 137 ट्राईमिथाइल xanthine. It is a structural analog of adenosine. What are the things that have the maximum amount of caffeine? तो कॉफ़ी में 60 to 120, then tea also has cola, dark chocolate. स्टिंग एनर्जी ड्रिंक में आता है आपका 70 to 505 कॉफ़ी, पागल हो जाओगे इसको पी के. देन टैबलेट्स हैं डिफरेंट. कैफीन पाउडर वाया ऑनलाइन सोर्सेज वेरीज अप टू 1700 per 5 ml. Caffeine powder is also available. The coffee concentration varies up to 1700 per 5 ml. Theophylline, aminophylline and theobromine were used before for COPD treatment, but its use has declined because of narrow therapeutic window and we have safer agents. We give caffeine to babies also. Theophylline is still used in patients with debilitating bronchospastic disease outside the US. There are very few cases of human toxicity via theobromine, but it has been associated with atrial fibrillation. Of course, it's a stimulant, right? Like it's fine. Theobromine. Theobromine is found in your seeds of Theobroma cacao. Theobroma cacao, from which your chocolate and cacao are come. Camellia thea, from which teas is sieved and is ingredient in a numerous energy drinks in addition to caffeine. Pharmacokinetics of methylxanthines. Therapeutic serum concentration is very low, only 5 to 20 micrograms per ml. Then bioavailability is 100% for both caffeine and theophylline. Oral peak absorption within 1 hour. Volume of distribution is very low, that means it's a very water soluble drug. Protein binding is also low comparatively. Major active metabolites are paraxetin, theobromine, theophylline and caffeine. Clearance is hepatic. Half life is more than 1 year old में 5 to 10 hours. The theophylline has the most potential for significant toxicity, followed by caffeine and then theobromine. What are the clinical features of toxicity? GI side effects are there: nausea and vomiting, GERD, seizures, most likely due to caffeinated string energy drinks, etc. Seizures during chronic therapy are seen with lower serum concentration due to relatively higher tissue levels. Then it has cardiovascular effects like a release of endogenous catecholamines, like sympathetic stimulation, atrial fibrillation, multifocal atrial tachycardia, flutter, ventricular ectopy. Metabolic effects like hypokalemia, hyperglycemia, metabolic acidosis, rhabdomyolysis, Chronic use of methylxanthines like caffeine has a tolerance and withdrawal. In fact, caffeine causes withdrawal headaches. The withdrawal starts at 6 to 24 hours after the last dose and peak is at about 36 hours. That's why so many people need their coffee after getting up, otherwise they will have headache. What are the signs of toxicity? Caffeine toxicity में there is no clearly defined toxic dose or level of caffeine. Following a single ingestion of 120 mg of caffeine can average peak serum concentration of 3. Life-threatening toxicity occur at 150 mg per kg caffeine intake. What are the signs? GI signs: nausea, vomiting, gastritis, neurologic headache, tremor, agitation, seizure. Cardiovascular tachycardia, hypotension, atrial arrhythmia, ventricular arrhythmia. Metabolic, there will be rhabdomyolysis, hypokalemia, hyperglycemia, acidosis, hyperthermia. Theophylline toxicity में the best predictor of major theophylline toxicity after an acute overdose is seizure, hypotension or arrhythmia. So heart and brain, seizure, shock, arrhythmia. What is the treatment? GI decontamination in potentially life-threatening theophylline toxicity. In caffeine ingestion, there is a very little benefit with contamination. Do not give cimetidine as it can prolong methylxanthine half-life. Ondan is the preferred antiemetic to control associated nausea and vomiting. Do not use promethazine. You can use Rantac but not cimetidine for gastric acidity. Multidose activated charcoal can enhance theophylline elimination by interrupting the enterohepatic recirculation. Ipecac syrup, catharatics and gastric lavage after theophylline injections are not recommended. Seizures occur due to adenosine antagonism. They may be difficult to control, particularly with theophylline toxicity. Benzodiazepine are the first line agents. Repeated larger dose may be necessary. Barbiturates like phenobarbital 10 to 20 mg per kg IV in adults should be used if benzodiazepines are ineffective. Maintain low threshold for endotracheal intubation. Intubate early if necessary. Phenytoin is not useful and neither recommended for coffee or theophylline induced seizures. Patients who fail to respond to anticonvulsant therapy like your benzodiazepine, barbiturates, not phenytoin of course, should be intubated paralyzed with a neurovascular blocking agent, and phenobarb coma may be required. General anesthesia may be required, and you should continuously monitor EEG for seizure activity. Due to the severity of theophylline-induced seizures, some toxicologists recommend prophylactic use of GABA agonists like lorazepam to raise seizure threshold in patients presenting with marked elevated theophylline toxicity. मतलब prophylactically लोराज दे दो, but it's not been really recommended. Then cardiovascular support, fluids देना है, बीटा ब्लॉकर्स देना है, वेंट्रिकुलर अरिथमियास क्या होता है उसका ट्रीटमेंट देना है. Cardiovascular support with fluids, beta blockers. How do we eliminate it? So multi-dose activated charcoal is recommended for removal after enterohepatic circulation. Use hemodialysis as it is a water soluble drug. It will get excreted with via dialysis. Dialysis or hemoperfusion is very good and recommended. We suggest that dialysis should be considered if after an acute ingestion, a symptomatic patient has theophylline level more than 100 microgram per ml. more than 555 micromole per liter. First is more than 100 microgram per ml level, or a chronic toxicity patient has a level of more than 60 with significant symptoms or comorbidities. So early dialysis saves life in methylxanthine toxicity. Then supportive care and disposition is there. Third is nicotine. Nicotine is the primary alkaloid in tobacco, a product produced from the dried leaves of plants in the genus Nicotiana. Tobacco is smoked, smokeless like chewing candy, etc. Typical cigarette contains 20 milligrams of nicotine, but only about 1 mg is absorbed during smoking. Nicotine gums usually contain 2 to 4 mg per piece. Formulation and mastication assist in higher absorption comparing to smoking a cigarette. So you can get addicted to nicotine gums also. Liquid nicotine used in e-cigarettes contains up to 36 milligram per ml of nicotine. So they are more dangerous. E-cigarettes, they have more nicotine, more addictive. Calls to Poison Center for Pediatric ingestion of liquid nicotine are increasing, with more serious toxicity seen with liquid nicotine exposure compared to cigarettes, and deaths have always also occurred. Other nicotine sources are gums, patches, nasal inhalers. आपके gums, patch, nasal inhalers are smoking cessation products. Then pesticide, traditional remedies, plants, thermal exposure during tobacco harvest, tobacco sickness season. Nicotine is rapidly absorbed in the lung and the mucous membrane, intestinal tract. Serum nicotine concentration of 40 nanograms per ml. It causes blood-brain barrier and affects the CNS. Therapeutic use of a 4 mg piece of nicotine gum lead to peak nicotine concentration at 45 minutes. It is metabolized by liver, mainly by cytochrome P450, with 85% being converted to cotinine. Cotinine. Once absorbed, nicotine binds to nicotinic acetylcholine receptors throughout the body, including the CNS, autonomic and nervous system. Early it acts as agonist, then later higher concentration पे toxicity पे the acetylcholine receptors are inhibited, leading to receptor inactivation. Nicotine leads to increased levels of acetylcholine, dopamine, glutamate, NORAD and serotonin. All are excitatory. In overdose, it affects the GI, cardiovascular, neurologic features. A child who ingests 1 or more intact cigarettes or 3 or more cigarette butts has a 90% chance of becoming symptomatic within 30 minutes. Green tobacco sickness is also there in farmers during the tobacco harvesting season. What are the clinical features of nicotine? GI, cholinergic, hypersalivation, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Then cardiovascular, tachycardia, hypotension, arrhythmia, bradycardia, also hypotension. Neurologic, tremor, psychotic behavior, headache, ataxia, hypotonia, seizure, coma. Respiratory, bronchoria, hypoventilation, apnea. Treatment of nicotine toxicity is symptomatic. Like nausea, vomiting, gastritis है तो एंटीमेटिक PPI दे दो, ऑनडेम 4 mg पेंटॉप. ट्रेमर सीजर हो रहा है, लोराज़ेपाम दे दो. हाइपोटेंशन हो रहा है, फ्लूइड्स दे दो. हाइपोवेंटिलेशन हो रहा है, इंटूबेट कर दो. विड्राल है तो कुछ नहीं करना. Chronic nicotine use has been associated with insulin resistance in diabetics, increased cardiovascular risk, arrhythmias and the potential for withdrawal. Nicotine withdrawal manifests with irritability, depression, drowsiness, trouble sleeping, increased appetite and headache. So patient will be irritable, depressed, drowsy, trouble sleeping, increased appetite and headache. All these are symptoms of depression, isn't it? Clinical depression. Irritability, depression, drowsy, trouble sleeping, eating, headaches. With symptoms peaking at 2 to 3 days after last use. Withdrawal can occur in smoker as well as smokeless tobacco and nicotine gum users. Those who ingest intact transdermal patches should be observed longer, at least 6 hours, while disposition.